Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to today's Sword of Convallaria video. So in today's Sword of Convallaria video, we're going to cover a tier list, more specifically the latest updated CN tier list from GameKey. So for those of you guys who do not know, GameKey is one of the sources of info that a lot of people refer to at the start of global server. That's because it has a very developed site, as you guys will see right here. So it has a very developed site, and you can even click on the specific characters to go into the individual unit analysis. So it's really easy to understand because people can just take a look at the portrait and then they just, oh, this character is a T0, you know. But there is a lot of deep dive into each of these units for some of them that the author is able to analyze, which is what I like. So I do refer to this a lot previously when I was playing on the TW server, and I still use this as a reference as to, you know, the units that are about to come, whether or not I should spend my resources on them. So in today's video, we're going to run through the ultimate CN tier list updated on the 10th of August. So previously it was updated in May, so it's kind of outdated, but right now it's up to the latest banners, which are Tristan as well as Layla right here. So Tristan over here, Tristan is T0, and Layla unfortunately right here, right, T2 for the support side. So for this tier list, right, the author actually split it into two different categories. One is the DPS side, one is the support side. So you guys will see the carries on top. So Gloria, Sophia, August as well as Tristan, they're on top. And then right, the support side, we have Ada as well as Simone, Akambe as well as Koka. All these are all the support characters. So this way you guys will know, okay, what are the support characters that I want to look out for, what are the DPS characters that I want to look out for. So before we start talking about the units itself, let's talk about some TLDRs right here. So 节奏榜观看指南. Okay, so if you click on all the different characters to go into the individual analysis, there will be some pages which are not developed, therefore you can't actually click onto them. For example, I think August, right, as well as Tristan is not updated, so they are just on the tier list, but I guess the author probably didn't have the time to write it out, so that's why you can't actually jump into them. Okay, so that's for the first point. Okay, then second one, right, characters tier rating is a combination of PvP, general PvE, your weaponry trials as well as tarot trial together with tower conquest, as well as all the different end game modes on the CN server. So it's I'll say, like, in general, right, let's take a look at what else is there to mention. 一关之后就所以期待拥有越级 okay. Okay, so for the turret towers as well as the weaponry towers, these are the ones you clear once, you're gonna sweep them kind of dungeons. So units which are able to deficit push will be of higher ratings or will be a lot stronger, and in this case most of the characters are usually like either massive support characters or like units that does massive DPS while fulfilling the certain conditions for the different bosses itself. 如果没有特定，可以需要半个月或者更久的练度，同时Okay, so what this means is that there are certain characters that are sort of like meant for this weaponry trials, those deficit pushing and stuff. But because once you clear the dungeons itself once, right, the general usability of this character actually drops. That makes the character less valuable, but it's still considered in tier list, at least according to the character sensing. So I guess it's fair because the general versatility of the character drops after you using it to clear the weaponry trial once, because later on you can just sweep it with your Can Octopus, or even your, you know, you sending your units in to just sweep for yourself. Okay, but this is the tier list. In general, I think this tier list has a lot of analysis in different ways, or rather analyzes the character in the different categories that the characters will perform. So that's point number 2. Okay, so okay, okay, so for DPS characters, in this game itself, in case you guys have been really playing for quite a bit already, DPS characters are effectively one of the most important groups, because you need DPS characters for example, clearing your PV contents. You need DPS characters for like pushing deficits, because good DPS characters is able to challenge the stage 20 level ahead of time, and that's where this character will be better for the new players. At least this is what this line is about. So if you have this special sign, star sign over here, for example like Gloria right here, as well as for example this is Dandelion, right, as well as Lavinia, these are all the beginner friendly characters. Okay, so this is what the star sign is for. Okay, Okay, so the next line if you have this down sign, right, it means that these characters, they are very strong. For example, like Hasna, as well as Guzman, as well as Karis, they are decently strong, as well as Tristan, they're decently strong, right? But the thing is, they're not very beginner friendly, because in a beginner's box, you kind of want versatility. You want a unit that can go into multiple different game modes, and you want units that are good as you are developing them. So if you are somebody who's like maxed out, then this character being able to go to level 60, being able to use the most optimal equipments, they are top tier. But if, let's say, right, you are somebody who is new to the game, right, it doesn't really matter too much to you, because you're not able to bring out the full potential of the unit. So that's what the second line is about. Okay, so next, for the support characters for the new beginners, so I think third paragraph right here, this one, it's all about beginner side. So if you're watching this tier list as a beginner, whether or not this character is something that will be good for your box based on your current progression, right? So support characters, subjective to the new players itself. If they reach a certain level, once they unlock their skill, they will be quite useful, especially if you use their core skills. So this is for the support characters, which is true, because like for the support side, usually you don't need like the full tree unlocked, to be honest. If let's say certain characters have their core skills at the earlier ranking itself, I would say that you might even want to save your points for the future in case you sort of like need specific skills for the later tiers. Because for example, if all the core skills are within the first 5 rank, you probably filled up all the skill slot anyway, so you don't need to upgrade the further skills. You upgrade the ranks for the stats, but you don't have to choose the skills yet. So I guess that's for the support side. And then for number 4, okay. So PvP side, it's more about points, because when you attack someone, you gain points, but the guy that you attack don't actually lose points. So it's not like super duper competitive in that. And if you just hit enough points, and you can auto just to get to the specific tiers to get a ranking, that will be really decent. So characters that are generally insanely good for PvP is not like super duper highly rated. I think it's fair. Okay, so this is one thing I want to talk about, because there are certain characters which I think they're actually really good in PvP, but the issue about PvP is you can actually choose your opponent, right? So you can choose the easier one, and then you can kill the easier one and you still get points. And even if you're top 1, top 10, or even top 1000, as long as you're at the highest tier for the seasonal rankings itself, you will be getting the rewards, as long as you're clearing the weekly, monthly, seasonal based kind of like rewards, the 500 points one, then it's fine. So that's why PvP character in this game, right, if they are specialists in the PvP side, they are usually considered weaker. Not because they're bad, but because PvP is just not as important, unless you're somebody who's into like live PvP in the future, or if you're somebody who's into like PvP in general, like hardcore PvP. But if not, it doesn't matter to the masses itself. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the important TLDRs. Okay, so if you see a star, it means a very beginner friendly character. If you see an arrow down, it means that this character, they're strong, but they're not beginner friendly. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into the carry side, the DPS side. Okay, so DPS side characters, they are mainly for bossing challenges, as well as challenging the upper limits of the dungeon. Okay, so these are characters that generally deals damage, right? There are certain characters that has damage in their kit, but their kit is actually more support centric, so therefore they will be in the support category. So for the support T0 characters, these characters are able to do 100,000 levels of 10,000. Let me just count. Okay, 100,000, yeah, because E1 is 10,000. So these characters are able to reach 100,000 level. Okay, I mean, I haven't reached like that level 60 mark, so I don't know how far the higher limits the character can go, but my max character right now can hit for about 4 to 5k. So this level of damage is probably for like the massive wheel and stuff. But okay, I guess, right, using this like this gauge to gauge the upper limits of the character is fair, because that's where once you have that character fully developed in terms of the star levels as well as the optimal equipments, maybe that's why the character can be like this super mega powerhouse in the T0 category. Okay, so the very first character, T0 Tristan. So Tristan is one of the latest banner right here. So right here I have all the TW banners. So I will talk about like the newer characters because they are not in the tier list of other players or most people because they probably didn't deep dive into the TW side. So right here we have Tristan. I'm gonna shift my portrait a little bit. So Tristan is over here. So this is one of the latest characters. So in most tier lists, she's not there yet, I guess, because people either haven't used her in the different game modes extensively or they didn't have the time to evaluate her yet. So therefore she's there, not in other tier lists but there. But this character, I ran through some TW forums itself. It's a T0 character in terms of damage output. She is known as a one punch man in those like forums and stuff. So I was thinking like, should I go for her when I first started? Because when I first started the game in TW server, it was actually towards the end of Pamina, and then I think after Pamina ended, it was just immediately Tristan, right, in terms of the days. So I guess I started around 11 July, I guess, yeah, maybe 10 July. So after that I got to her. I was wondering, well, should I go for her? Then I went to search and like type on the TW site, is she good, you know, blah blah blah, and look at all the different analysis. I think she's quite powerful, but based on this tier list itself, she's I'll say not that beginner friendly, so therefore there's an arrow down sign. Not sure how her kit actually works because like there's multiple different parts, and because I'm not able to see the higher tiers on my TW account, it's quite hard to evaluate her powers over there. Okay, then we have August. Okay, so August is one of the top tier characters amongst all the different tier lists. I think still is. Right here we have one tier list from the CN side right here. So this is from the 7th of July. We do a cross reference, so both of them, they are from the CN side, but this is from the 7th of July, this is from the 10th of August. So Sophia August still T0 definitely, as well as Gloria. So if you have Gloria, be rest assured that this unit will stay relevant for quite a while. One of the very reasons why I decided to invest in her, because she will stay for quite a while and she's really good even towards like the later stages, right? You can use her as a pusher, as a buffer, as a damage dealer. Really good all-around character. So August is there, Sophia is there. Okay, without a doubt, they're T0, very powerful character DPS wise. So for the T1 category, the damage sort of drops. So just know that I think in terms of this tier rating for the characters, it's more based on I think how much damage these carries can deal at the max level state. So there are other, like I'll say, like factors to consider. For example, like, okay, is the character mobile? Is the character good for a lot of different TOC stages? Or is the character flexible, right, in terms of team building? Can you slot the characters in? So those are factors I think might not have been considered here. Might, because I can't really evaluate some of the newer characters here because I don't own them on the TW side, and I don't actually get early access in the sort of Convallaria game itself, right? So I can't really evaluate how well some of these newer characters to come will be, but I'm just going to base it on this tier list, okay, to prepare for them. So we have Barrow. So Barrow is still T1. I think Barrow's been around for quite a while, 1 year after release, so I guess it's fair. Like based on my past research, she dropped off probably 3 to 4 months later. So in terms of, I'll say, like meta longevity, she's still quite relevant. And I think like there's always a way to use Barrow to cheese Tower Conquest stage, because the burn is quite, I'll say, like cheesy. Even though if you can't rely on her raw damage output, you just burn the enemy and then start running around. And then Cole, still pretty powerful assassin character, I guess. I mean, PvP, I think Cole's main like game mode, it's probably PvE as well as PvP, right, as well as certain stages where you need assassins to go in and then snipe and then run out. So still going to be useful in that. I think even to this date, I think Cole's utility will still be really high, because like I think in a lot of scenarios where I played sort of Convallaria, I realized if the unit can go in, do what they want, and then come out safely, and then repeatedly do what they want, this character is generally very useful compared to a unit that goes in, maybe do one thing that the unit wants to do and then just die there. So for Cole's case, I think this unit is quite good in a sense. The damage output might not be the best, but this unit definitely has survivability, which allows this unit to move in, move out, and you know, you can use like this mechanic of the character to, I'll say, like do certain like AI baiting and stuff depending on how you utilize your characters. So this character definitely still relevant, although T1. Yeah, I mean, it's 1 year after release. Then we have Shakalulu. So Shakalulu is this fox lady over here. So in the the other tier list over here, Shakalulu is also T1. So I guess she's not like particularly spectacular. Not very familiar with the kit, so I'm not gonna focus too much on her kit. Okay, so Shakalulu is over here, so somewhere in April, like I'll say like a mid banner from the TW server until the latest version. Okay, so next one we have Lavinia. Okay, Lavinia. This is the SP early memories version. So this is this one over here, Lavinia. Okay, one of the later characters. So this is T0 in this CN players tier list, but T1 here. So Lavinia's damage output, I guess to be fair, right? Lavinia's strength doesn't lie in the damage output compartment, more like in terms of, I think, overall flexibility of this character, because this character has really high mobility and she can jump around, can disable and hold enemy in place. Very useful if you want to kidnap certain targets. So generally, I still think Lavinia's definitely T0, not in the damage side, but as a DPS character, because this character can do a lot in terms of like if you're a really big map and you need a lot of mobility and you need AoE damage and then you need a disable there, she's quite strong. So T1 in terms of damage output, but definitely T0 in my heart. I'm pretty sure T0 in a lot of people's heart, because she's quite a nicely drawn character as well. If you look at her art right here, very nice. Right, very defined artwork without over sexualizing of the character, which is something I appreciate from gacha games nowadays. I mean, it's a lot of sexualizing of different characters, but still, this is really nice artwork without sexualizing. And then we have Karis. Okay, so Karis in the other side, it's probably T1. Yeah, T1. Karis is over here, T1. So this is T1 also. In terms of damage, I guess, yeah. So this list is very damage centric, like I mentioned. So I guess she probably doesn't have like I'll say like anything that gives her that additional utility. I mean, I don't use her particularly, but I guess PvP, yeah. But and if you consider the fact that PvP is not highly rated, maybe that's why she's here. But she's also not very beginner friendly with the down arrow, so that's one thing to consider as well. So I can't really click on her. So for the newer characters, you can't actually go into the portrait because they are relatively new. They're just added. Like for example, for Cole, right? If you click on Cole right here, you can deep dive into Cole's different skill set, deeper analysis, as well as the different tier ratings. This is one of the reasons why I love this this website, because it's really in depth. Although, right, it might not be the most accurate sources because people have different opinions and stuff, but just simply like how they present the information, so I can understand the characters better and then make my own sound decision right here. So we come back to this tier list. So I guess that's why Karis is here. So Nungo, oh, surprisingly Nungo's T1. Wow, okay. Let's take a look at what is mentioned here. So these are the different skills. Oh. Okay, I think for Nungo's case is probably the flexibility. Yeah, probably the flexibility of the character. Yeah, I mean, I mean, if you just rate her based on the damage output, maybe she's T1, but Nungo's also T1 here. So to be fair, quite good. Yeah, I guess you can go for Nungo's banner that's on global right now. Yeah. Okay, then we have Agatha. So Agatha is this character right here. Okay, where's Agatha? Agatha. One of the early characters. Somewhere here. I think it's somewhere here. Yeah, Agatha is here. So this is mid period release character in May. Okay. So that's for the tier list rating for DPS T1. So I think in general, if their character still falls in the T0, T1 category, they are already amazing. Like, I personally, to me, in terms of how I interpret the tier ratings for sort of Convallaria across the different sources, generally speaking, the characters that do a lot of damage obviously will be rated higher, but there's a lot of ways to play sort of Convallaria. So I guess T0 and T1 are good enough units, so you can prepare for them if you like their character design, or if you deep dive into their kit and you enjoy how these units plays out, then you can definitely go for these units in general. So Barrel, really good stuff, Cole still really good, and Gloria obviously fantastic and beginner friendly as well. So that's for the T0, T1. Let's take a look at the T2 side. So we have Lily Whale. So Lily Whale is T2 here. So right here, obviously it's based on the damage, right? So T2 characters damage output is not worse off compared to T1, but when you talk about the mechanics, there's no like particular like shining point, right? Or rather, like there's no particular advantage compared to the T1 character. So I think in terms of the T2 and T3, if given set conditions or given like a fixed set of conditions to min-max the character might still be decent, right? But the thing is, I mean, given like the different external conditions, for example, like Tower of Conquest, you have a lot of different environmental conditions, team building conditions that will sort of affect the fluctuation of the unit's power level. So this unit being less flexible, being like need a particular thing to excel is not that good. So that's why they're in T2. So we have Lily Will. Let's take a look at this guy's tier list right here. Do a really simple cross comparison. Okay, so Lily Will is T1 here. Oh no, Lily Will's T2 here. Yeah, I guess she fell off quite hard in the global, I mean in the CN side. Okay. By the way, it doesn't mean that the character right now is not future proof, because we still don't know whether or not Ada will be the next banner. So we don't know how hyper accelerated the banners will be. If you guys are wondering where I got this is my own digging. I ran through all the different banners on the TW side, and I actually have a video for this as Taiwan banners, so I will be including in the card above as well as the description down below. And this is the tier list from another CM player on the 7th of July. So we have the Li Will here, and Li Will is down here. Okay, then Hasna's not beginner friendly, but I mean Hasna's very waifu friendly. So T2 as well. Okay, aligns with the other tier list. Guzman. Oh, Guzman. Okay, the rating for Guzman is T3 here. Okay, but Guzman is actually a tanking character, I think. Let me just do a quick run through for Guzman. Debuff. Okay, I think Guzman's more like a tank or like frontliner. So if you take a look at, I mean, a frontliner that deals damage. Yeah. So doesn't have a lot of aura buffs and is countered a lot by Watchers in general, because Watcher is still one of the, basically I think being a destroyer tank, this unit sort of loses a lot because of like the anti element from Watchers, and Watchers being really popular and like one of the strongest roles in the game, right? So unfortunately for Guzman, in terms of damage output is T2, but I think if you talk about general utility, Guzman is actually more of a tanker compared to being a damage dealer. So I guess, right, if we go by these standards and analyze it from that perspective, Guzman is worthy of the T3 or even the T4 right here. The Guzman is, oh, pardon me for the nose sensitivity. So T4 right here, so very low in terms of rating, unfortunately. So yeah, but I mean, if you still want to use Guzman for damage dealing, it's possible. But Guzman is more of a tank character. Then we have Lavinia, beginner friendly. Yeah, I'll get a lot of free copies of her from Voyage Memento. Dandelion as well. I guess Dandelion fell off in terms of like damage. Yeah, right here. But I guess Dandelion still has his use right here. So if you go into this one, okay, so Dandelion has a heal. Dandelion has additional so it's a deal damage. Okay, so additional debuff, more damage with debuff. Okay, damage as well as energy removal. Still very, I think I'll say like still useful for utility. So this is the defensive skill, reaction skill. This is the flex skill for area. This is for AoE damage with debuff. So still damage with a lot of debuff stuff. So I think Dandelion is probably still useful from the utilities point of view. So one thing that's good about cross comparing between the different tier lists, it allows us to see whether or not the unit is good from a utility point of view, because this is a very damage centric rating, right? It rates the damage dealing potential of the character. But if you take a look at the other tier list, we'll see that hey, this character could be higher here, like T1 for example, Dandelion. So then this character probably has still quite a bit of utility, which is probably the case for Dandelion, because Dandelion has quite a bit of debuff going for this character, and this character has pretty good stats. So I guess still really useful generally, obviously not the strong one on the damage side. Then we have Gracia, again not very beginner friendly, kind of fall off a bit. So Gracia's pretty low on this list as well. By the way, this list, right, that is all the way on the right hand side, this is 22nd November. This is a year back, so this is the initial global one. So I was actually comparing between the latest as well as the global side. So Garcia here is T3. Okay, Iggy. I mean, good luck if you train him up. I personally don't really like his kid, so that's why good luck. Yeah, we have the support. Oh well, so DPS T3. Okay, so Pamina's pretty bad, Momo's pretty bad, Leonite, Xavier, as well as Faco. Okay, so I guess Pamina's not rated here because Pamina's one of the later characters. So if you base on damage, probably not the best. And then if you look at Xavier's down here, so fair. Xavier's down here. Leonidas down here. And okay, Leonidas' biggest problem is actually the low mobility. Hurts him a lot. Yeah, hurts him a lot. There are Momo and Pamina. I don't know much about Pamina because I can't click on her. But if you go into Momo itself, Momo's technically, I'll say, like more of a utility damage dealer. Yeah, like her kit is not really like damage dealing centric. To be fair to her, like she's so low here because I think if you take a look at just sheer damage numbers itself, this character is not like good damage dealing wise, but this character has this skill. This is the Abyss skill that is able to cancel out passives as well as reactive skills for 2 turns. Insane utility. This is one of the best skill. Why Abyss was actually used in my 8-5 run. So 8-5 Tower Conquest, you need this removal of passive and reactive to stop enemies from activating their really sick passive and reactive skills on certain occasions. So I think Momo in terms of utility wise is definitely really strong because Momo right here is T1. Okay, Momo right here is T1, but T3 in terms of damage. But to be fair, if you take a look at the numbers on the skills, it's not that spectacular, and there's no like ignore defense or additional damage or anything that particularly allows this unit to do more damage. So if you're considering Momo right here, right, she will be more of that utility secondary type of character. So to be fair to her, that's that. Okay, so that's for the DPS side in terms of rating T3. Okay, so Faco's yeah, not gonna be good anytime soon, to be honest, so train him at your own discretion. Okay, so next let's take a look at the support characters. So for the support characters right here, Edda, okay, Simona, Akambe, Coco, as well as Homa, they're all T1 characters, so I guess they have the best supports and utility. So not going to explain too much because they're already T1 here, so we'll wait until they're here on global to talk more, right, to describe more of their kit. But generally, yeah, I guess in terms of their kit itself, it's really very, very support centric, so they excel in being a support. I think usually units which falls between like both camps in terms of damage dealing and support, they don't fare as well because they don't have a particular niche which warrants their usage. So T1, okay, so take note, Edda, Simone, Akambe, Coco, as well as Homas. So if you guys want to know the banner, I'm going to run through them right here. Okay, so Edda, one of the predicted unit to come soon. I think for those content creators with early access, it's already sort of like reviewed that this character is probably coming. So if you want a really powerful support coming up, then you can definitely save up for Edda right here, which is probably what I'm gonna do. And then right, we have Simona right here, also quite okay. Hey, wait, let me check. Oh no, this is not Simona, sorry, this is another Ice character. So this is Safia, the top tier DPS T0. I think a lot of people talk about this August. Okay, so Koka is here. Koka, okay. And then Akambe, the Goldman. I like his skill animation, but it's really, really flashy because it's all gold. Hasna, my favorite waifu. And then we have, yeah, over here, Tanya. So this is Tanya over here. Okay, so this is one of the later banners. So if you want to go by like TW banners prediction, Tanya. And then we have, okay, yeah, that's it. So Coco, Akambe, Homas, as well as Tanya. Wait, when did Homas come, by the way? did I miss out Homas, or was Homas released with someone else? Okay, might have left out somewhere. Yeah, like I realized that there's no Homas in my banner, or could it not be? Nah, I probably missed out. Yeah, but okay, anyway, so I probably missed out. I was thinking like, where is this Homas here? This Homa. This character, right, when I was playing the TW side, it was one of the double character banners. So I was like actually asking around the veterans of the TW server, which character should I go for in the banner? They was like, go for this. This character is really good. I was like, how is she good? Then they did an explanation. So just a TLDR for you guys, this character, right, is quite a good character in terms of like maneuvering, right, according to what I heard. Okay, I don't know whether or not I was true on that, but let's just take it as that. So T0, fair. I mean, it's not just one person recommending me, so this character should be quite good with multiple recommendations. Then we have support T1, Nono Will, okay, Inanna as well as Simone. Yeah, so the older batches of support. Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's like it's been quite a while since CN side, so I mean it's natural that they fell off a little bit. And then we have Maisha, Samantha, Tidian, Magnus, Miguel, never good. We have Nergal, Alexei, Layla. Layla is the new character, and then this is Koka without 5-star. Okay, so this is Koka without 5-star, so it's a very beginner friendly character, but probably not that good without the 5-star skills. Yeah, I don't know how she works because I don't have a lot of information on her. But this is Koka, same character here by the way. So T0 if you're 5-star, but not T0 if you only have her below 5-star. Okay, so Layla is the latest character in my banner right here. So I think in the TW, I haven't been going into my TW account recently because I was really busy, but I guess it's probably a new banner now after Layla. So I'm probably gonna log in to see what's the new character and then update this banner of TW banner update accordingly. So this is Layla right here. Lucky I didn't go for her. Apparently she's not that good. So that's pretty much it for this CN tier list, updated all the way to 10th of August. So what I will say as a concluding statement is usually when I take a look at tier list, I will analyze the character based on whether or not the character is going to be useful for my playstyle, or whether or not, you know, I like the characters in general. So yes, it's a good gauge as to if you like very big numbers characters, then go for the T0 characters. If you want to like find out more about the units kit, let me know, right? I could do some deep diving into certain units that people want to find out more and talk about, wait, why this unit might be good, why this unit is still really good towards like the super late game for the CN as well as the TW side. So that's pretty much it for this CN tier list update, right? Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. See you guys again in my next video. Have a nice day. Bye guys.